So here we are, anchored in the Bay of Islands, and it's a sort of a maze of these little mushroom islets and shallow water, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just delightful. The sort of boats scattered in and around the place. We found ourselves a little nook in here, and it's just lovely. Not shabby. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. The Bay of Islands is aptly named. Hundreds of tiny islets and bays scattered around amongst the mainland make it a joy to explore. Paddleboarding is an excellent way to get around, but for more serious exploring, the dinghy is the only way to go. We spent many a happy hour just tootling around, exploring all the hidden caves and lagoons. You're not going to get through there.
Yeah.
High tide you would. And of course, if there was an archway or a cave, then we just had to go through it. Mind your head, Rick, mind your head. There you go. Okay. Clear. We're like a bunch of kids, aren't we? Yay! It's fair standing up anyway.
I feel like a gondola driver.
Yeah.
Just one cornetto.
You should sing.
Yeah. Give it to me.
The motto is the more the merrier, and exploring was made all the more fun with a whole group of friends. On this particular day we found the only accessible beach in the area, Papaya Beach. And we all made it. Apart from Kayak Man. But of course it rains even in paradise. A low pressure system was forecast, but nobody was quite prepared for the big wind and squalls that came with it later that evening. The topography of our anchorage meant that the wind was funneling, and we were getting gusts from north, south, east and west. We would go from 6 knots to 37 knots in just a few seconds, and Double Trouble was spinning around through a good 360 degrees.
Bit blustery.
Yes, we've had a bit of a night, haven't we? We appear to have dragged our anchor, because we're now sitting in a completely different place in the bay. We think as we've been doing 360s, the winds have just been hooning down and around. So we think the anchor dragged and reset itself about 10 metres from where it originally was, which is a good thing. It's not a good thing because we've been up worrying all night, but it's a good thing that it's reset itself. But we're just watching the guy in front of us as well. Everyone's just doing 360s. It's we're not sitting into the wind like we normally would. We've got wind against tide, and the wind's just what appears to be just funneling down through the islands. So
I think
that's the team mode.
Yeah, we've dragged more likely because we haven't got enough scope out really.
We didn't have a lot of scope out, in fairness. We were a bit unprofessional in that regard, but at least it reset itself.
Yeah,
which is good. But yeah, we're just waiting for a bit more light so we can pick it up and go and put it back down somewhere that isn't slap bang in the middle of the mind you, he's sitting in the middle of the passage anyway. But I think it's going to be windy for the rest of the day, isn't it?
yeah.
So we've had fun and games. We had squalls last night, and there were boats dragging, and we're swinging around in the anchorage. So we've just, for this first time ever, we've just put a stern anchor out,
It's going to be
Because we don't have a lot of swinging room in here, we had to move.
Yes.
So we've just put it out the back to stop us from swinging into these guys here, Rick and Chrissy, because they're tied off to the back. And our anchor's good, but if we swing, we'll come too close to them. So stern anchors are the way to go today. This cat's just tied off to the rocks over there because they're not too happy. And the wind has actually dropped now. It's all belt and braces, but belt and braces is good, is it not, darling?
Better safe.
We'd been in the Bay of Islands for over 2 weeks, so it was time to up the anchor, move on and do some more exploring. Our next stop was to be Bavatu Harbour, on the northern end of the island.
We are putting our stern anchor out for the second time because it was so successful the first. We are in Bavatu Harbour, and we found a lovely little spot here, but we also want to always stay in this direction. So this, with our swinging room, we should be fine, but we just want to make sure that we don't swing
Into
the
rocks,
the rocks here or the rocks over there. So the prevailing wind is here at the moment, and we're just going to put a stern anchor on there and then stop our swing. So I have put our 20 kilo anchor in here. It's quite a lot of anchor for a stern anchor, but it's the only anchor we've got.
Only spare anchor we've got anyway.
And then we've got 10 meters of chain, 30 meters of rope. I'm going to connect it all together and go for a little boat ride. Just connected the chain to the anchor, a little bit of Loctite to be sure, and now we've got it all set up in this tub, so it should feed quite nicely. So I'm going to drive 15 meters that way and throw it in the water. Here, do you think?
Yeah, we don't need to be far. And there's no method to this. That was it. You basically just throw it in.
That was fun.
That's our stern anchor in.
And now we will drive over there,
Hoping that we're not too far from the boat.
and we've got a float attached to it, so if I do let go,
Yeah, if we need to let it off quickly in an emergency, if we need to get out of here, we just undo it from the cleat at the back.
yep,
And then we come back and get it at a later date.
and we're going to set it over there, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's tied on, and now we'll just tighten that from the boat. We don't want it too tight.
Yep,
All good?
all good. So I'll just get out of here. Ready to tighten.
So the boat is pretty much back on the chain from the main anchor,
Yep.
and we're just going to haul on this a wee bit.
Just going to set it actually. So this is a nice stretchy 3-core rope. So now it's taking the slack up. OXO is all that I'm doing, so it's a nice quick release.
Yep.
And then there's a float on there. We have to
If we have to
retrieve it.
ditch it. Shaky camera work. You see how that sits?
I actually might let it out a bit. It's quite tight if we're fully back on it, because we kind of want it so that the boat just stays in the middle of the two anchors, so it can go forward and back.
So the good captain has got in to check. His new free diving skills coming to the fore. All good? Beauty? Nice work. Jobs are good. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, we would love you to do so. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and links are in the description below. We'll see you next time.